So what I want us to look at is there's one error that is going to be paramount with our code here. This is actually in our all this our update user. And if I put something else here, I'm going to have my app. And see, I have what's called a message to be say that invalid 10x number, that is non-number. This is actually really makes sense. And this error was actually handled by Flint for us automatically. So Flint handled the error by themselves automatically. Now, what we want to do is that I don't really like this error like this. I don't like this error. So what I want is that I want to actually have a another response for this. I want to have another response entirely for this. So what I need to do, I want to create a middleware that is going to run on our code. And if the middleware runs or you need to just check. Let me write it. What I want to check, I want to say if now what I want to check is that if the ID that you see here, I want to say I want to try pass it the int dot try pass. So now if this ID, I said $sign ID there. So what this means is that the ID is not going to crash. It's not going to give that error that we see. It's not going to crash. So I'm going to say if this ID is equal to none. So if this ID is equal to none, what am I expecting to say? I want to say that I want to respond back that I say return. I say res dot res I would say JSON, which I've been using. Then we're going to have say status. I think status is going to be first. Then MSG is going to be params must be or ID must be int. ID must be int. So now if I set this to this, and this is put request, so let's go to our put request. Put request here. If I it said it's loaded. Oh yeah, it is actually like this is actually integer. So let's add string there and see what I'm going to have. Can you see it said this must be int, but if I don't have this, so what's going to happen is that it's just going to crash our application. But by the virtue of Flint Dart undo any exception that you might actually occurs to you, Flint Dart undo them. So that's what happened. Flint Dart undo all those exceptions and return response back to user, so it does not crash your application because other people might want to call your application. So exceptions are undo internally by Flint Dart. All those are undo exception are handled internally by Flint Dart. So because of it is handled internally, that's why I give you this error that there's a server error. Though is your app is still running normally, even if there's an error everywhere in other places, the app will still keep running. Now what that means is that there's error. So now what I want to do is that I want to apply this guy, and I don't want this route to even run at all. I don't want anybody to come to this through this route at all, unless if this ID that is given to us is actually like not like actually a real integer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a middleware that we're going to use to get, I thought that middleware can actually check the kind of data that is sending to us. So now I want to use here. And I want to use middleware to check the params first before anybody actually makes use of it. I have those middleware here. So let's look at an example of middleware. How middleware is created here. We have alt middleware. So alt middleware is going to take take what's called a handler and take what to handle. Handler. This handler is our request that we have here. Can you see? Take an handler like this. Take an undo function. The undo function take an handler next. So this is the handler, our normal handler that we have handle since. So we always call a request, which is rec, a response, which is response. That's asynchronous programming, and we return. So that if it is not, there's not prior token, and if it is none or it is expire, which you send on expire, like we send a unauthorized message to the user. So that's what this one is all about. Now, what I want to do now is that there's another one called validation. You want to take all the requests, validate them. If they are none, you want to respond back to user. So that's what this does, and this also does the validation. But another I want to create is a params that must be hints. So I'm going to say there is a CLI that I think that for us to create a template of this. You can create it by yourself by hand and copy and paste this. But there's a Flint Dart template that CLI that has been given to us to create this. So now what I'm going to do is to just have what is called Flint like this. We have what's called make. They have colon in front of it. Then I say middleware. Middleware. Params must be int. It can be anything. But can be anything. So can you see it has given me? It said that he has added inside of this video. I think what's called param must be int for me, and this param must be int here. And we create the same example of this guy for me. But what I want is not actually this what is here. What I want is just what is called um it's just simple thing like this. By saying int dot type pass, then the source is going to be $, then rec dot params, then we have what is called another thing called the ID. So if it is none, we should have a response, but the response is not going to be just a string, going to be a not just a string, going to be a JSON, JSON like this. So we have map, so and then we go down to false. So JSON is going to be message, and say I'm going to say when I say message, I'm going to say ID must be int. So the next thing, just to this type from here. Now, what this middleware I just created now, what we can actually do, there are two ways to apply middleware. The one is that we can actually apply middleware to a specific route like this. We copy the route, the handle like this, and copy the call like this. Params must be like this. They are also dot handler like this. So I'm going to put our handle like this inside of it. I'm going to put this our request inside of it. That's the one way we can have our middleware. But this is a very long things to do. So we don't need to have it like this. So we can just remove it like this. So now what we can do is that on the route, we just say what's called dot use middleware like this. Yeah, I'm going to put the none. So that's all. And by this middleware is applied to the route automatically like this. So if I come like this, if I run, so let's say give unauthorized for this guy. Now is this unauthorized there? Let me see. Yeah, it's unauthorized there. It should not be no. Okay, I did a mistake. Oh, sorry. This is not where I'm supposed to type what I want to type. So I want to copy it. So I just take it back. Wow, I did a mistake. No? So this is not what this is where I'm expressing it. I have Jesse. So what we just need to do is to this alt route just change to each other the way it was before. So that's even how you know that you even know what you are doing. So we have what's called the route like that. So let's just test it again. And see the route has been applied to it. It said it's called unauthorized. So or it's just before 100. It's okay. But you can see that the int must be not the ID must be int is actually working. So you can use in middleware. Now you don't need to care about every other logic again. You don't need to care about all the other logic again. So the delete is there, everything that thing is there. So you need to apply it to them by saying that dot use. So you don't need to care about the delete. Maybe he's going to put maybe user is going to put ID or any other thing there. So when user does not put what's supposed to put there, maybe you are going to guide them automatically. Now, if you are using it in a function like or in a single out like this, and it's like I'm going to use it, or even there is ID, all the ID must be actually integer. So if it's like that, if your code is like that, you don't need to apply it to your specific one like this. You can apply it to a route, a group route, by saying that, oh, all my routes should use this. I want to say app like this, dot flint, app dot use. I say app dot use, I want to have what's called middleware. So middleware can just say must param must be int like this. So this is another way you can use middleware. You can use middleware on a single route like this, on universal for like this. Any all the routes, this middleware is applied to all of them. This middleware applies to all the routes. So can you see? If I come to update to, can you see it must be, if I come to delete, this one is number. If I change this to and that additional analysis must be int. Everything applied to it because I use it on a universal mode. So that's how you use what's called middleware, and that's how we create middleware. Middleware just means a set of rules that guide our application before the real route of where you are going to. It's a set of rules that guide. Now, this one, what they did is that it guide our application, not even get to a stage of crash at all. So before you get to a stage of crash, it has seen what you want to do and stop you by the way before you continue your execution. That's what this middleware does for us. And that's what middleware did. So now we can apply middleware to a what is called a. This is how we apply it to universal routes, all the routes together. So then this is a way we apply a middleware to a specific or a group route. This is what we call a group route. When you are mounting a group of a group of endpoints, and you want to apply a route to them. So this is how you do that. So thank you. That's middleware.